Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and I am the man with a cartoon obsession. It's been a little while since I last uploaded a video, but I'm back at it. Today I wanted to go back to my childhood once again and look at a show I have just a little bit of nostalgia for. Before we get into that though, I would greatly appreciate it if you could take just a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more animation related content. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm hoping we can make that happen. Without any further ado, let's get into my cartoon review of Hi Puffy AmiYumi.
Nani?
Hi Puffy AmiYumi is a cartoon that depicts fictional versions of the Japanese pop rock duo Puffy AmiYumi, or simply just Puffy as they're known in Japan. The show was created by Sam Register and it was produced by Renegade Animation as well as Cartoon Network Studios. Hi Puffy AmiYumi aired on Cartoon Network and it ran from November 19th, 2004 to June 27th, 2006. The show consists of 39 episodes over the course of 3 seasons. There was also a pilot that was released on April 22nd, 2003. The pilot is pretty funny. I don't like the art style and the animation is pretty bad, but I often expect that from a pilot. On to the actual show. Like I said, it follows fictional versions of Puffy AmiYumi on their travels, playing concerts, and getting into all sorts of wacky antics. I liken it to shows such as Kappa Mikey given the somewhat crude art style and animation, and the obvious anime influence. However, this show leans more into slapstick humor. There isn't a story, but there is a little bit of continuity. It's not always consistent, but it's there. Each 22-minute episode is broken up into 3 segmented episodes. There are also live-action segments featuring the real Puffy AmiYumi at the beginning and ending of each episode. Technically in the title cards of seasons 2 and 3 as well, but I don't really count those as segments. Honestly, I don't really care for the live-action segments, but they're short and only happen twice per episode. The ones in season 1 are the worst in my opinion. The ones in the other seasons are more varied, but I can still do without them. Most of them in general are just pretty annoying to me. Animated music videos are occasionally thrown in, mostly minimalistic ones, and I like them. It's a show about a band, so they fit, and I like some of the songs. The occasional live-action music video is thrown in as well. They're better than the other live-action segments in the show, I'll say that. The show has 3 main characters. Ami is the cheerful member of the duo. She's pretty much always in a good mood and always full of energy. These overly happy characters can annoy me, but Ami does show other emotions frequently enough that her happiness doesn't become unbearable. Yumi is the opposite. She's more gloomy and angsty for lack of a better term. She's not all doom and gloom, of course. I think she's as well balanced as Ami. Between the two, Yumi was always my favorite. In fact, I remember having a bit of a crush on her when I was a kid. The last main character is the band's manager, Kaz. He's greedy and cheap. He cares about Ami and Yumi when it's convenient for him, but he's not that good of a manager or person. Kaz always adds new terms to Puffy's contract, which makes them deal with plenty of less than ideal situations. He's a jerk, but he has some sort of charm I can't explain, that I kind of like. Besides, Kaz always gets what's coming to him, especially during most episodes that revolve around him and the cats Zhang, Kang, and Tekirai. I will admit though, I don't like all of these episodes, and I honestly think there are more than there should be. None of these characters are particularly strong, but the voice actors really make the characters. With Janice Kawaii voicing Ami, Gray Delisle/Griffin voicing Yumi, and Keona Young voicing Kaz, it's easy to see why. These are all very capable and established voice actors, and they're cast well on this show. The show has a lot of slapstick humor and over-exaggerated facial expressions. They're not always good or funny, but the material can be generally entertaining. There are some fourth wall breaks in this show, mostly in the final season, which I can always appreciate. There's even a whole 7-minute segment that's just a fourth wall break. It's called Sound Off, and I find it to be very enjoyable. I love these kinds of episodes, and this one's as fun as I would have hoped. A lot of the show's episodes' plots are standard, but enjoyable. There are some episodes that focus on side characters, such as Harmony and the Talent Suckers. I don't care much for episodes that feature Harmony, but I also just don't like the character. She's a typical annoying #1 fan, and I just can't get behind her. The Talent Suckers episodes can be entertaining, but it goes without saying that the strongest episodes are the ones that revolve around Ami and or Yumi. There are various quote-unquote origin story episodes that take place during different time periods. It's an interesting concept, and I like the idea of Ami and Yumi meeting in the Stone Age or medieval times, becoming a band, and staying together as a band through different incarnations. The episode I remember the most, and one I might even call a favorite, is In the Cards. Yes, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Parody episode, but I love the angle they took with it.
Excellent card to use for my first attack. This card will enable me to not only cut into her defense, but her life points as well.
I'll admit, the animation in this show isn't great, but I don't think it's awful either. I like a few of the character designs as well. The main characters and characters that are the focal point of an episode anyway, there is very little effort put into the background characters. A design choice I noticed is that Ami and Yumi don't have ears upon first glance, but judging from their profiles, I'd say it's meant to look like their hair is covering them. I also like how Ami's buns are just floating above the rest of her hair. The backgrounds are usually minimal, and some of them are very cheap looking, but some of them look alright. There are some backgrounds that are blacked out. If it's nighttime, it makes sense, otherwise it just looks weird. Audio-wise, I already mentioned that I like the main voice cast, but the other voice actors are also good. Considering the supporting cast consists of seasoned voice actors such as Corey Burton and Rob Paulson, that's not too surprising. The show tends to reuse sound bites, but it's usually within the same episode. It's not aggravating, but it's hard not to notice. Since this is a show that centers around musicians, naturally Puffy AmiYumi's songs are played during episodes, mainly montages. Like I said before, some of the songs are pretty catchy, so I don't have any issues with that. Songs tend to get reused from episode to episode, and I think one of them was also featured in Teen Titans. Given that this is a slapstick show, I don't expect there to be much logic. That being said, there are quite a few inconsistencies I want to touch upon. The show is nonsensical in general, but Season 3 feels like they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's the most inconsistent season, but it's still enjoyable enough. I have to point this out every time I see it. Kaz drives the tour bus, but he clearly can't reach the pedals. The bus also seemingly drives itself sometimes. It seems to work fine, except for the couple of episodes in which it's acknowledged. I also like how the inside of their tour bus is seemingly endless. Whenever the band is performing, you always hear the same standard guitar, bass, and drums no matter what instruments they're playing. Given that pre-existing Puffy AmiYumi songs are being used for the soundtrack, it makes sense, and it's more of a nitpick than a complaint. Then again, if a little more effort was put in, the audio and visuals could have been matched up better. Finally, Ami, Yumi, and Kaz primarily speak English, but they occasionally exclaim things in Japanese. It can seem out of place, but since the characters are fictional versions of a Japanese band, I think it makes sense. Subtitles would help for us who aren't fluent in the language, but it's not that big of a deal since the exclamations are only sprinkled in throughout the show, and a lot of them are easy to figure out. Celebrity cartoons are weird to talk about because most of them, if not all of them, are mainly vanity projects. But I'm someone who looks at how a show is presented rather than who is presenting it. It's not perfect, and it may not even be objectively good, but this show is that stupid kind of fun that I enjoy. It doesn't take itself seriously, and it doesn't go overboard with the bad and annoying tropes even when they are present. In the grand scheme of things, the show didn't do too badly. It spawned some DVDs, toys, and a couple of video games, so I think it was at least semi-popular. Unfortunately, it was cancelled in October of 2006 due to a management shakeup. Interestingly enough, things have come full circle because the show's creator, Sam Register, is currently the president of Cartoon Network, and has been for nearly 2 years as of recording. It's always funny how these things work out. Overall, I give Hi Puffy AmiYumi a 7 out of 10. I might be looking at the show through rose-colored glasses because I did like it growing up, but I truly still find a lot of enjoyment in it as an adult. Now let's hear that awesome theme song one more time. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you have any other cartoons, anime, or other animated works that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know. After all, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out my social media pages, audition for an outro, and join the official Cartoon Obsession Discord, the links for all of which are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
I'm Paradise, and thank you for watching Cartoon Obsession.